And let's turn that music down a little bit, shall we? It's a morning. It's definitely a morning. And I'm gonna say, instead of wake up Winona, I'm gonna say what's up Winona. Because I've got some news. These are, as I said, a testing, 1, 2, 3. The first 2 weeks here is just about us going 10 minutes and doing some testing. And we found out a few things in the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to bring you up to speed. So let's see, what do I have here? I've got sharing my screen here. What's up? Oh, and I've got it. I got to make sure that I do that just right. Actually, I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do an experiment because that's what this is all about: making hot messes, making mistakes, and trying to figure out what's going on from there. So I'm gonna make 2 comments. First, I'm gonna take that banner off because you know the drill. You know what it takes to have a YouTube channel grow. You know that we live by those comments, those likes, those subscribes. And I'm going to do a what's up this way. And I'm going to do a what's up another way too. See, this is the way that I did it just now. That's how I did it that way. We'll see if the comment tracker is smart enough to get them, or do you have to be precise? That's our experiment today. And how I did it there was the what's up with, and we're going to start collecting comments. So I just did the what's up that is all hashtaggy thingy. And it's like I just did a copy paste on this one here. So this one's a little different. As you can see, the first one I did had there's a space there, and then there's capitals for all the up before I did the exclamation point. And for this one, I did it the way that it's precisely the way that it's there on the thingy. So at the end of today's session, we will do the drawing because we should have entries. Oh, it says only 2 entries, so it's only that we have our answer now. We don't even need to test. It's there already. So, anyway, but what we are testing today is a new name because, first thing I did when I thought, okay, we got to name this show. First I had, just a generic when I was claiming these, because really you can name these things anything. According to the platforms, according to like Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, it's not the name that's important. It's the number. There's a hidden number sequencing that, okay, this is your platform. So I wanted just to claim our space, our turf. And when I did that, it was the Driftless Southeast Minnesota. And the Southeast Minnesota was SEMN, right? So make it easier so I could get a feel, because a lot of times you don't know, you just really don't know till you start doing stuff, till you start testing stuff, what works, what sounds good, what's gonna serve you, right? And then as soon as I came up with the Wake Up Winona, because I thought, I'm up early, that's like one of my superpowers is I'm up early anyway, so might as well play to that strength, and but I'm not. I am a kind of an outlier that way. Most people are not as bright and cheery first thing in the morning as I tend to be. Most people are have a easier time going to events at night than I do. I think my crash comes pretty early in the evening. So I Google searched because I asked people around here, and they said they hadn't heard of anybody using it. They didn't know of any community radio. That was the first thing that I asked. Is there used to be one at the college, wasn't there? And I said, oh yeah, no, it shut down. And actually, there used to be, I think, two. Now I'm see, once you start doing this, you start digging, you find out more and more. I think there was a facility over at St. Mary's too. We used to have we used to have a lot more choice. It feels like with the internet, there's infinite choice, but not really, right? And it's like the same thing locally. Locally, you've got the most agency and the least amount of information because of how normally things are structured, right? There's yeah, and it's everywhere. It's ubiquitous. That's kind of the standard. It shouldn't be the standard, and that's one of the reasons why I want to do this, because I want to expand what we our channels of information. And if there's overlap, so be it. That's actually a good thing. It's good to have overlap. It's good to have because the chances are of it being the information being seen is better. So if you're like if you have a nonprofit and you have your website and you have all your socials, and you think you're putting everything out there, you're putting thing out there to like here. It's who you're in conversation with. How many of the other local nonprofits are you in conversation with? And that expands it a little bit more because it brings in a bigger audience. But if all you're doing is being in conversation with that same group, again, that's because we are multitudes, right? Even small towns are multitudes. The amount of people and the amount of thought that's untapped and unseen in all the places is just amazing. And that's kind of why I'm doing this. It's that celebration of I want to see who's underserved, whose voices aren't heard very loudly, and mix it up and have a whole ecosystem, right? It's good to have all the levels of voices being heard. And if you don't agree with me on a topic, if you think, oh, well, I'm not gonna reach out to her because I know she probably thinks X, Y, and Z. Well, you don't know. You'd be surprised at how nuanced each individual is, whether they are identified with a label that you want to label them or not. What I find is that as you hear that everything is all divided and that we don't talk to each other, and we don't talk to each other. I agree. We do need some help in talking to each other, because what I have found is when I sit down and I talk to somebody who is perhaps a belligerent person online, right? Or perhaps, can make some blatant statements about groups that I would belong to. When I sit down and talk to them in a human way, all of a sudden we have a whole lot more common ground than you'd think, right? And it takes some intention to have those conversations. It takes some thick skin to have those conversations, at least initially. But is it worth it? Oh, heck yeah. Heck yeah. Give me, yeah. I am all, anything that we can connect on and anything that we can help each other grow. Because you don't have to be on the other side of a political aisle for you to be helpful to me or hurtful to me. That's not always the best way to make distinctions. Just because you're politically aligned or because you're philosophically aligned doesn't mean that your hearts are aligned. That's my 2 cents for today, and we're already 8 minutes in. And one of the things that I wanted to talk to you guys about is really important because this is Thursday. Tomorrow's the last day of week 2 of our experiment, right? So what did we learn in these 2 weeks of doing this? Well, one thing that I learned this week is that WakeUp Winona. And like I said, I double checked. And what I was afraid of is that it was being used by not here in Winona, Minnesota, but maybe another Winona, because there's Winonas in probably not all 50 states, but there's probably a fair amount of states that have Winonas in them. And I didn't want to do any kind of infringement there. And then this is what I found. I'm gonna share screen again. The shared screen is going to be a different share screen. So somebody reached out to me and said, well, it's not really a community radio as it is a college radio. And I'm like, I thought there was one there because I'm 20 years out of when I used to live here, right? And in the morning time, I listened to Bob Edwards on 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 NPR, and I still haven't gotten over the fact that he was fired. So that tells you a little bit about me. And then so KQAL is still operating, and guess what their morning show is called? It's Wake Up Winona. Now, I searched, it doesn't come up anywhere until you get real with it, right? So I reached out to the general manager, and I said, oops, looks like we got a bit of a conflict here. I wanted to let him know that I did search, I did my due diligence, and his stuff just did not come up. I even Googled radio stations in Winona, and he did not come up. I asked people who'd gone to Winona State University, and they didn't know. So I tried, but this is why we do the 2 weeks of testing, because things come to the light when you test. But they've got these other programs, Jazz Cafe, Don't You Know? Rock Pile was a band when I was a kid. It was Dave Edmonds and Nick Lowe and a couple other guys in there. That was Rock Pile. That was very cool. But they've got that for there. Late Shift was a movie when I was a kid. So the names on their shows are not exactly branding, but it's close enough. And because it's close enough, we don't want to do that, right? We don't want to do that. We don't want to be, see, there's Rock Pile. Who is it? Rock Pile was Dave Edmonds, Nick Lowe, Billy Brennan, and Terry Williams. Yeah, they were awesome. Nick Lowe is awesome. Dave Edmonds is awesome. Yeah, they're all probably awesome. So that's what we've got going on there. And it's just me. Y'all, it's me. We're out of time, and it's just me. So we're going to draw, and I'm going to win. Because I'm going to win. So we're not going to be Wake Up Winona anymore, and I'm going to take the isn't that cute? See, you too can have this happen to you. I'm going to take the weekend to change all my to change all the on the air stuff. And I'm thinking, what's up? What's up, Winona? It still gives me my WUW thingy there that I've been using. And so I need your feedback. So Wake Up Winona turns to What's Up Winona. And I kind of like it because it's not time specific, because I was not planning on really. I mean, I was planning on coming in the morning just because I'm up anyway, having my coffee and saying hey, and I got a bunch of other morning podcasts. But I want to do interviews, because to me, it's not so much about what I have to say. It's about finding out what you, Winona, has to say across the spectrum, across all the normal boundaries that you have in culture, in community, in whatever. I want this to be kind of a celebration and a getting to know you. Kind of like I have horror stories about old welcome wagons. It's like the old joke is, there may still be. Is there a welcome wagon here in Winona? I gotta look that up. It used to be that only and if it's still around, it probably has evolved into something better. But the joke was the welcome wagon. The people involved with the welcome wagon are the ones that that you want to steer clear of when you move to a new town. I just want to make it easier for us to connect with each other, whether we are been here for a long time, because you get into your little routines and you just don't know what's going on, or you're just moving in, and it can be hard. It can be a hard thing to try to figure things out. Hard for me to figure out that there was an extra radio station, which I'm so glad of. I mean, to me, there should be at least 5 more, right? It's not about competition. It's about creating a good ecosystem, and we need good ecosystems in our lives. All right. Well, I'm 4 minutes over time, so I think you've had enough of me today. Have a blessed day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow, and then start the shift over. I'm thinking, what's up? What's up is more of indicative to what I'm trying to do here. Anyway, right? I'm trying to find out what's up. All right. Well, you guys have a blessed day.